Oh, hey, welcome to the channel, guys. And I wish that I would be here on a bit more of a upbeat note, but as you guys know, there's been a lot of storms going on, and actually there's one headed here today. However, I'm going to make sure that there's time to prepare, and I'm going to actually show you things that I do to prepare and things that I prioritize. Also, I'm going to be showing you what I put in my hurricane evac pack. This thing is full of stuff I would take with me if I was evacuating, and it's geared towards survival. Not just survival, but like a thriving if I can help it, because that's what I aim for. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start off with my first thing that I keep on hand, and that's going to be, without a doubt, water. I keep it in bottles like this because they're convenient and small and you can hydrate quickly. And I also keep it in this giant cool jug. It's got a cool twist cap here, so you can make sure it's secure, and you can pour it from there. And it has a nice handlebar, so you can hold it real nice. So yeah, this is about 1.22 gallons, I want to say, and it's really nice. I have a couple of these filled up, just preparing for the hurricane. Making sure that I have clean drinking water, just because the human body is made up of it's made up of mainly water, so I want to make sure that I top that off as much as possible, staying hydrated in the storm. Moving on, we have different kinds of snacks. I have these coconut rolls here, which are dry and really easy to eat and store. I also have these cool breakfast biscuits. These are blueberry flavored. They are really nice and they're really easy to store, and they're surprisingly filling, especially when you wash them down with water, and they're great. Generally I do dry things because they last longer, and I can keep them on hand in my pack for a while. Like, I don't have to pack them at the day of. They can already be in the pack ready to go. So, dryable food. I also have some freeze-dried options, but this is just the gist of a few things that I prioritize. So moving on, we're going to talk about a third thing I prioritize, and that's going to be first aid. I have some stuff in the backpack, but I also keep a first aid kit, a complete first aid kit. This thing has gauze, ice packs, tweezers, gloves, bandages, you think of alcohol swabs, all kinds of stuff to make sure that if there is an injury, God forbid, I mean, you never want to get an injury, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Moving on, we're going to discuss what's in my hurricane evac pack. This is a thing that I would grab and throw over my shoulder when it's time to evacuate. Let's go ahead and talk about a few things in here. Starting off with the front pouch. So one thing we got in here is this alcohol lamp. It's pretty cool. The wick is replaceable, so whenever this wick burns out, and there's alcohol on the bottom, of course, and alcohol soaks through the wick and you light it. Moving on, we have this cool emergency candle. This candle lasts for 24 hours. A little closer. It's pretty neat, and I could use it to keep warm, to keep lights going. You know, lights are very important. Speaking of light, we actually have this really nice headlamp. First off, you got like more of a spotlight. You have a spotlight beam. It's extremely bright, and you have like a more wide beam. We also have this really cool black light. Another thing that I have in here is a bigger flashlight, and it's just for, you know, having as much light as possible. Another thing I have is a smaller knife. It's pretty cool. It's got a nice little bamboo pattern on it. I also have these really cool USB lights that you can plug into a USB port. As you can see, they're pretty cool looking lights. And they give off a lot of light too. You wouldn't think that they would, but they do. Okay, so this is a cool radio. It's a nice handheld radio. You can get into a lot of different stations. AM or FM. It's really small, and it's really easy just to fit in here. We also have this. You're probably wondering what this is. It's a really cool butane torch. It goes a long way with a little bit of butane, as you can see right there. There's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but that's where the butane is stored. Finally, we got this little keychain. It says, let God lead. It's got a cross right there. This is very important, most important, honestly. Moving on from that was a lot of light and fire starters. We have a few more things for starting fire. Got this wristband actually. It's pretty cool in the sense that it looks like just a paracord wristband, but this is real paracord that's knitted together. You could take it apart and use it. Not only is this thing a compass and paracord, but it's also a ferro rod striker. Watch. Take it apart. As you can see, we've got metal there. You got the rod here, and you see. But I'm not gonna do it too many times. I gotta keep this ready, you know. So that's another thing I have in case I need to start a fire. Speaking of starting a fire, I have these cool wax kerosene soaked ropes. They're very nice for starting a fire. Moving on, we have another lighter, just a backup in case my butane one doesn't work. It's an electrical one. Pretty cool. And there's another feature actually. It turns to a light. Isn't that cool? We also have this fire blowing telescopic pole. Yeah, I also have this fire blowing telescopic pole, which is pretty cool. Basically, you blow through it to start a fire. If you're trying to start a fire, it's pretty cool, and you don't have to be too close to it, you know. And then we got some more. This is for that alcohol lamp I actually had earlier. This is replacement wicks for that. Finally, I have this little match here. It's another cool ferro rod type of thing. It's very nice. This is the striker here, and I'll show you real quick. As you can see, it lit. I don't do that too many times. I need this for, you know, a survival situation. Anyways, guys, moving on to the middle compartment. And the first thing we have in here is going to be this spray sanitizer. You know, staying clean is important. Not much needs to be said about this. Pack are these gauze sponges. They're useful in a multitude of ways. I can use them to start a fire. I can use them for a wound. I can use them to purify water. I also keep these little tablets here actually. And what these are for is basically you put some water on them and they expand to an entire towel. I actually have a whole pack of these guys. Alright guys, moving on to the next thing, I have this bottle of hydrogen peroxide. You know, I have alcohol, but also I want something else that can be an antiseptic. Alright guys, so now that we finished going through this compartment, let's go through this next one. Starting out, I'm going to show you guys this. It's actually for sucking out it's for mosquito bites. You put it over a mosquito bite or any other kind of bug bite to suck out the saliva and the toxins. And the concept is by doing that, it can stop the itching. I mean, I haven't tried it out yet, but it's nice to have in a kit. Another thing that I have is this pot. It's like a little small pot to fit in my backpack. Especially in a survival situation, every amount counts. It's not like a giant pot, but it's big enough to be useful. As you can see, if I really needed to, I could light this and hold this over it with the water inside and it would literally boil it. Speaking of water, I actually have this filtration straw for giving you clean drinking water. It's rated for 396 gallons actually. I also have this cool emergency tent. It's good. All you need is a string. I can use the paracord in that bracelet, and I actually have some more paracord in my pack tucked away to pitch a tent. I also have some utility gloves for if I'm out in the wilderness. Protect my hands when I'm dealing with stuff that might give me splinters and whatnot. Very useful to have a pair of gloves. I also have this little washboard so I can actually wash my clothes if I need to. It's really small, but it's effective. It's got some ridges too. I'll let you guys see it a little closer. It's got some nice little ridges, and I can use this to keep myself clean in a place where I wouldn't have a washing machine, of course. Moving on, guys, I have some microfiber cloths. You know, just to keep myself dry. Another thing that I have in my Evac pack is going to be this. This is an inverter. It has a 9-volt port up here, and it has 2 outlets. Very nice. And it also has 3 USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port. It's very cool. All you gotta do is plug it into your car like so, with this into the 9-volt port, or some people call it a cigarette lighter. And then you press this button and you got power. Speaking of power, I also have this really cool generator. It is 296 watt hours of power, and it's very neat. I really like this generator. I'll bring it a little closer. It's very lightweight. As you see, I'm holding it with one hand with ease. It's got a handlebar as well. And it's very durable, actually. It has a fan on the side to stay cool, and it actually has a light here as well. Alright guys, so now that you've seen my power station, I'm going to show you guys how I power it. This is a portable solar panel, guys. It's extremely large and it's rated at 200 watts, so I can charge everything I have that I showed you. I can charge it with these. Another cool thing I have are these emergency blankets. They're really nice for staying warm and they're extremely compact. I also have this expandable fishing net. You know, never know how long you're gonna be without food. If you don't have any food, you're gonna have to catch some. Furthermore, this can be used to retrieve items lost in the water. Another important thing that I keep in my pack is this. A blade that's small yet capable. It's really nice as well. This is one of my favorite ones. It's got a lot of different things to like about it. Starting off with this compartment back here is this. As you can see, this here is an emergency radio. It's very cool. And essentially what I can do with this is I can access a bunch of different radio broadcasts for emergency places. I can keep up to weather updates. I can get to emergency weather broadcasts. Another thing I keep back here is a power brick. It's pretty nice. I already have a bigger one, but it's nice to have one that I can store on with me as well. And as you can see, I keep that at 100. Another thing I have is a flashlight. This one actually has a focused beam. I put it behind me. It can be bigger, it can be smaller. It's really bright too. And we have a carbiner. It's pretty cool, you know, carbiner, carabiner, whatever you say. And a cool thing about this one is that it includes a knife as well. Not only does it include a knife, and it's a sharp one as well, but it also has a bottle opener. As you can see right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. And it also has a bunch of other tools. Yes, that's right. It has a screwdriver too. It's like a Swiss Army knife, but a carbiner at the same time. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I keep in my Hurricane Evac pack, things that I prioritize, different necessities and my reasoning behind it, and maybe you were able to take something from it for yourself. Anyway, be sure to leave a like if you liked it, comment if you loved it, and subscribe if you really loved it. I hope you guys just enjoy yourselves and stay safe at this crazy time, and remember the main thing, don't panic.